Welcome to Season 1, Episode 21 of Next Stop Somewhere. We're Jeff and Louise, and today we're exploring Lake Tamarisk.
And our podcast is not about luxury travel, but real people, real places, and the little discoveries that make each trip unforgettable.
So grab your coffee, buckle up, and let's dive in. Episode 21. Can you believe it's 21 episodes?
Nope, I can't. But there's something different about this one. What new technology have we introduced for this podcast?
Oh, video camera.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's dive in then.
Okay. So campground review and rating.
Yes, the Lake Tamarisk Resort,
Uh-huh.
right? Because that's what it was. Originally established by the Kaiser Steel Company as a resort for their management employees because there's a mine nearby.
That was in the 60s, though. Right?
Yes.
50s, 60s.
Yeah. And by the way, we should say it is
or before that.
at a little town called Desert Center, so called because it's in the center of the desert, specifically between
Pacifically.
Palm Springs and I guess Phoenix. I don't know.
Blythe.
Yeah, it's like an hour outside of Palm Springs.
The last major city before, not major city. It's not a major city. It's the last big city until you get to the Arizona border.
Exactly. Anyway, it was created as the resort for the mining engineers management. Then the mine closed down. It became an RV resort for Airstream only. No Airstream, no admission.
Yeah, but now it's not. It is 1,000 trails.
Mm-hmm.
Encore.
Mm-hmm.
They have, like most 1,000 trails and most, I think, RV sites. I haven't been to all of them to be able to clarify that. They have annual sites. So people live in their RV year-round. But this campground had a lot of mobile homes as their annual sites. But people wouldn't stay there annually because in the summer, it gets super hot.
Yeah, it's actually set up kind of like a co-op. The people who live there own it, and so you have to be admitted, you have to be voted on, you have to be approved, you have to be sponsored, all this kind of stuff, which is a lot nicer than having some, corporation owning the land.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
gives people a little investment.
However, it does seem a little cult-like.
It is a little cult-like. But so let's talk about the staff. Staff was super helpful.
Great staff.
Yep, very, very helpful.
Hold on. This is a 55 plus community. So this was our first 55 plus community. Peaceful. I know we don't look at that. It was our first 55 plus community.
It was nice and peaceful.
The campgrounds were well kept.
Very well kept.
The maintenance guy, who was not 55 plus, lives in the actual little town of Lake Tamarisk.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a desert center is this huge area. And then there's a little town called Lake Tamarisk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very small community. I can't tell you how many houses. I would say maybe 100. So he lived in the community, and he would come over, and it was immaculate, every place.
Yes.
It was very well kept. There was a lake called
Lake Tamarisk. Mm-hmm.
Right behind the campground area, and golf course.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else did they do?
Well, sites were very big, very roomy, plenty of room. Well, in terms of amenities, they had a pool, they had a hot tub, both very nice. They had the activity center. There was a billiards table in there, which we didn't play, but it was in there. And there's mostly lots and lots of activities. There's something going on there every day, from Mexican train to cribbage to golf cart. Christmas parades.
What is it called? Bunko.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so there was a lot of that stuff. The community had a firehouse.
Mm-hmm.
There was a library.
Mm-hmm. The major drawback, I'd have to say, was the conveniences. Yeah, the location. It was like 20 minutes, half an hour to the nearest gas station kind of shop. 45 to an hour to Blythe. I forget exactly.
Didn't Laura say that the gas station that she went and had to go get something, milk, It was like
$8
$8.
for a gallon or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. So it's very
So whatever,
overpriced.
it's overpriced.
Yeah.
45 minutes to Blythe, which you don't really want to go there. I did say something to her about recommending to go to Blythe.
And she pointed out it was for the gas being $1 cheaper right over the state line in Arizona.
Yep.
But I think
Yeah.
I think
Hour and plus to Palm Springs.
yeah. I think that's about it for the park itself. Anything?
No. Were we going to talk about the amenity, the activities that we?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So they had cribbage. We like cribbage.
Mm-hmm.
We thought, oh, this is great. 2:00 in the afternoon. It's West Coast time, and I get done with work at 1:30 for East Coast time. So it was perfect timing. We wanted to go and try and do cribbage because, like, what else is there to do? We already been to Blythe. We had to go get groceries that first night. Never going back there again. And then we were going to go to Colonel Patton's. I know you hate it.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
So there wasn't anything else. So we decided to try out the cribbage.
Mm-hmm.
And they said last week nobody showed up.
Right. This is the first time that they had started the cribbage club.
So this is the second week, and we showed up, and Laura was the one that was putting it on. So we played a few games. I think 3 games of 3-handed cribbage.
Yeah.
3-handed cribbage is okay.
Yeah,
It's
not
just,
a fan.
No. Yeah. I think it would have been really good if I thought it would be like a cribbage tournament. That would have been fun.
Sure. Yeah.
But it wasn't. But we did go to Mexican Train one night.
Yeah. That was jumping.
That was, there was 15 people there.
Yeah.
They had to pull out an extra table.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun. They played, like, you had to put in 50 cents.
Yeah. Big money.
And every time you go out, you get a nickel.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Got to meet people and talk to people. And then the next night, which they kept thinking was bunco, which I have no idea how to play bunco. They canceled bunco and was having the hold on to your seat.
Yeah.
The
Drum roll,
golf
please.
cart Christmas parade.
Yes.
Where the golf carts were all decorated in Christmas attire.
Yeah.
And they drove around the campgrounds singing carols.
They put some time an effort into their decorations.
They were serious about it.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah. Some of them looked like they went into their wood shop and cut some stuff out and didn't look all store-bought for sure. They were into it.
We had some pictures. Hopefully we can maybe put them up during the video.
Yeah.
You can figure that one out.
Oh, yeah.
And video.
Yeah.
And they were coming around with big gallon-sized bottles of Irish Bailey's Irish cream liqueur.
Kirkland version. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Asked if I wanted a shot. I did take one. And then another guy asked if I wanted a shot. And I said, I already have one.
He said, that wasn't the question I asked you.
Actually, he didn't say it as kindly as you just said. I think he barked it because I think he had already had his share.
Right.
He was like, that's not what I was asking. Not what I asked. And so I was like, no, thanks. I'll pass.
Yeah.
But we were invited to the after party there was a fire that you can hang around the campground, campfire, chili, and the little accoutrements that went with it, and some dessert. And then we took it, went inside, and sat with a couple from Wyoming. And that's when the fascinating guy came.
Yeah.
I know. I don't even know what the people's name were for him.
No, the ice trucker guy.
Don't even know what they did for a living. Didn't really even talk to them that much.
Yeah.
The guy that was across from us from Canada thought he was drunk.
Yeah.
Or had a stroke. Something. Don't even know much about him.
Yeah.
But the ice road guy.
Yeah.
He was fascinating.
Yeah.
Because I asked him what did he do because they were young. And
did not look 55.
Did not look 55. And I don't think they were because her mom used to live there and she passed away. And I think she just grandfathered in or whatever.
There's a number of them who were there as kids when their parents had bought in.
Yeah. And I asked him because he said they were in Alaska and now they're in Oregon. I don't understand the whole story. Anyway, he makes ice roads is what he said.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what does that mean? And so he explained it to us. And in Alaska, there's only one way to get from here to there. in certain parts, and
Yeah.
so it's across the water, and you have to make ice roads on
Yeah.
it. So they do it. That's what they do. And in the spring, sometime it starts to thaw out, and they can't go.
Yeah. I guess he must work for the oil companies that drill up there. I would imagine that's
Maybe.
who employs them.
But he is one of 6 people in the country, maybe world. I'm just going to say country,
Yeah, they probably do it in Russia.
probably,
Uh-huh.
and Greenland and
Yeah.
Finland,
Yeah.
and is the ice road supervisor.
Mm-hmm. Quite
Can
a
you
job
imagine?
title.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
being one of 6 people in the country
Right.
to have that
It's the one,
title?
like, how do you get that job?
Yeah,
You know, I want to be the ice road supervisor.
yeah,
I don't know.
kind of
But yeah,
crazy.
it was pretty interesting. I mean, they described it's like they have 30 teams. I mean, it's like 30 miles long or something, and they have 30 teams who each do 1 mile. They're all working,
Yeah,
simultaneously.
200 miles total.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
pretty impressive.
And then when I asked him, I said, "Is it as daunting as Ice Road's TV show is like?" And he's like,
Ice road
"It's
truckers.
full of drama." He
Yeah.
said, like the one girl he described, the one woman who was driving the truck, they had her as like, "Oh my God, am I gonna fall through? Oh my
Mhm.
God!" And he's like, "The ice goes all the way down to the bottom. You're not
Right.
gonna fall through." So
Right.
it was like,
No.
okay.
A reality show manufactures drama?
What?
No.
Yeah. So that was fascinating. It
Yeah.
was actually a nice time there. I would go
Yeah.
back.
And what was nice too is pretty much everyone who talked to us about the parade mentioned the chili and said, "Oh, you should come afterwards.
Yeah.
We're gonna be having chili." And it wasn't just like the woman in the office who was being nice. It was
Right.
like everyone there was very friendly.
Right.
Let's talk about food. Did we have any good food while we were there?
Negative
Not
Ghost Rider.
really. Yeah. No.
Very
it was-
disappointing.
Yeah.
Went to the Mediterranean grill. It was
So-
cold. It was cold. The salad was lame.
Yeah. Very lame. Iceberg lettuce
Yeah.
and
It was
yeah,
bad.
not good.
Didn't even
So we're not
taste
even going to
good.
tell you the name of the place.
Yeah. And then we went to Norma's Italian Kitchen
Norma's mediocre Italian food.
for pizza.
Yeah. I mean, it was fine. Wasn't the worst pizza we had, but
Well, we were hungry,
we were hungry. Yeah.
so maybe it was that.
Mm-hmm.
So that we ate outside. It was fine. Any other places?
Those are the only two that I remember that we ate at. And
So, mind you, there wasn't any place that we were going to go to eat in Blythe.
no,
No place to eat in Blythe.
none,
There were no restaurants where we were at.
none.
There was only restaurants in Palm Springs.
Yeah. And we
due
only went there
to-
one day.
Yeah. We only went there one day.
Mhm.
Not a lot of adventures for food.
No, but we did get a couple yarn and fabric stores in, though.
Yeah.
Whether they were good or not.
The fabric store was called Knitter's Haven
Mm-hmm.
in Coachella Valley Yarn.
The yarn store is called Knitter's Haven.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Coachella Valley Yarn.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same store.
Yeah, we were in and out of there pretty quickly.
Did not buy a thing.
No. And then we headed to the fabric store.
Yep. And that was called Quilter's Ferry.
Quilter's Fair. Yeah.
Faire.
Mm-hmm.
Unique location.
Felt like an industrial park.
Didn't have a lot of other businesses in that area.
No.
I mean, we even questioned whether they were open.
Yeah. Well, it was on the weekend, and so it seemed like those kind of businesses were closed usually.
Yeah. It wasn't.
No.
And it was a really nice store.
Amazing.
But the fabric was great. She had a lot of great selection.
Mm-hmm.
The patterns that were available were great.
Yeah.
The demos
Yeah.
where you talked about them being very unique.
That's what struck me as we went in, and it wasn't like the usual, oh, there's a log cabin quilt, there's the stripes quilt, there's this quilt, there's the American flag quilt, there's the Cowboys quilt.
Mm-hmm. So it was good. And the other way that you judge a quilt store?
How many boutiques they have?
How many boutiques? This was a
And
nice
the
store.
quality.
It had a lot of areas, different sections,
Mhm.
and it was better than I had anticipated. I
Yep.
would go back in there again
Yeah.
in a heartbeat. If you're in that area, go there.
Yep.
Those are the only two. We did the yarn there and the quilt store.
Yeah. Museums, I think the only one we hit was the Colonel Patton Museum, which was the General George Patton Memorial Museum of Memory or something. I don't remember what the name of it is, but It was a remarkably good museum for something so tiny.
Where is it?
It is between Palm Springs and Desert Center, like,
Yeah.
right in the midpoint there.
Maybe
So
25
that's even
minutes.
more in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it was there because in 1942, after war had broken out with the United States involvement in World War II started, they needed a place to train troops to be able to fight in the desert because there was, Nazis had taken over North Africa and all that kind of stuff. So they knew they were going to be fighting in the desert. So Patton scouted this place out, knew about it, and the camp was huge, like larger than the entire state of Rhode Island. And, so they trained the troops there and then sent them over. But the thing that was impressive to me about the museum is that it wasn't just about George Patton. They had, a little section that was about his life, his career, his accomplishments. But then they had whole sections on World War II, like women in the Air Corps and African Americans and the code talkers and the Holocaust and things you wouldn't have expected. And they weren't huge, but the displays were very well put together. Very well put together.
Bob Hope, too.
And then they had a whole room that was like set up like a USO show with folding chairs. You could go in and they showed some videos of performances from the time. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I think the Bob Hope thing is because he lived out there too. So I'm sure they are playing
because there's a Bob Hope Drive.
There's a Bob Hope Drive. And he was very well known for all his USO shows.
Sure.
Up until like through Vietnam and I think even I want to say even in Iraq. The first one in 90, 91, 92. Yeah. Like into his 80s or 90s, he was out doing this.
Yeah.
And then outside they had a bunch of tanks set up, kind of like an air museum. And
got pictures of Vienna.
There's one and you could climb into. Yeah. We'll be posting the pictures. Yeah. So definitely worth pulling off the side of the road. If you're driving through there, set aside an hour, go through it. Well worth it. But that was about the only museum we went to. We did, though, do a good bit of shopping.
We went to Wabi Sabi. Wabi Sabi is this Japanese home goods store.
Yeah.
And it's by this couple. I think Sam is one of them. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the other guy's name. And they go to Japan once a year.
Mm-hmm.
And they find all these supplies.
Buy cool stuff.
Yeah. And they bring it back. And we got... Crap, I thought I would have a plate here.
We'll insert a picture of the plate right here.
I was looking for a teapot for Ashley, my daughter-in-law. And I figured you're not going to find a better place than at a Japanese store.
They are known for their tea.
Yeah. So we got her one there, but they had these magnificent plates that I really like.
Yeah.
You were going for the cheaper one. We already have cheap plates from Target. Mm-hmm. I wanted some nicer ones.
So we got them.
Nicer plates make food taste better.
Well, they had, besides plates, they had rice makers, they had T-shirts, they had...
T-shirts?
Yeah, they had a bunch of T-shirts hanging up on the wall. Cookbooks. They had, different...
Any kind of accoutrement that you need for any kind of Japanese food, meals, that kind of stuff.
Knives, woks, other sorts of
That's
cookware.
Nice woks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like the little dishes for wasabi and
right.
Whatever else.
Little chopstick holders.
It was a great store. If you're ever in Palm Springs area, go there.
Yeah, but don't go to the Greek restaurant that's 2 blocks away.
Yeah, don't do that. We didn't go a whole lot of shopping.
No.
That's true. We did not do a whole lot of shopping. We did the yarn store, the quilt store, Wabi Sabi. We kind of walked in a few stores just to see what it was. Nothing spectacular. Nothing to talk about.
No.
Because we were on our way to go do some adventure.
So exciting. It was amazing.
But we didn't get to go. We were going to go to the tramway.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the other one.
No, we'll do that. There was 2 things that we wanted to do, and unfortunately, we only had that day.
Unfortunately, we only did the lame one.
If we had to do it again, we would have learned so much more. So learn from our mistakes. The tramway goes up a mountain about 8,500 feet, has a rotating floor so that you can see 360 degrees of the whatever. And you buy your tickets online, and there are some walk-ins.
Right.
So when we went to go buy it, when I saw it the day before, when we were researching it, I didn't buy any because I didn't think that you would want to go, and we didn't really talk about it that much. So we get up there, and there's this massive line. They put out a sign that says the 2.5 hour wait.
Right.
By the time 2.5 hours is, it's nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked when we pulled up, is that 2.5 hours to even get on the tram? And he said, yes. It's going to be dark. What's the point? What are you going to see? He goes, you'll see the city lights.
Whoopee.
Okay, that's not what we want. So
Right.
we just did a UE and went back down there, and we went over to the First of Immersive, which was at a movie theater. And they had, luckily, at that point, they had a community gathering for
Mm-hmm.
the town.
Yeah. Cathedral City was the name of the town.
Yeah.
And it was a whole little Christmas holiday celebration. They trucked in a bunch of snows. They had the kids playing in the snow. The
Throwing
mayor and
snowballs.
city council, they had an ugly sweater contest.
They
and
were doing that when we were there, yeah.
I think was that the one, the grand prize was like a bicycle?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
kid on a bike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. There's a lot of people there.
A lot of people. I
Food
was
truck,
impressed.
a couple food trucks,
Yeah.
different community booths, community center, different clubs.
Got some
things like that.
churros.
Got a couple churros.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we went and went to the Verse Immersive Experience.
Don't waste your time. Don't
No.
waste your money. Don't waste your time.
Yeah. I was expecting, and of course I haven't been to these, but there you see those ads for the Monet paintings come to life or Van Gogh, and it's like you step inside the painting and you're surrounded by it. That's the way the ads made it look like. But it was like this different sort of fantasy, weird kinds of realities.
The concept sounded much better than the actual
Yeah.
reality. Because I thought it was in the room, and you go in and you interact with
Yeah.
these animation visuals that you see, and it's not that at all.
Right. I mean, I knew
It's
it was clear it was going to be augmented reality, but I
Sure.
thought it would be like you go into a Van Gogh painting and like you can interact with the different things and,
Yeah. Even though they showed the headsets that had the covers on.
Yeah.
I thought it might be like an addition to the background.
Right.
That's not what it was.
No.
It was a dark room
Yeah.
right off the side where the movies are playing.
Yep.
And that's it.
That was it.
And you get your headsets on and you go in there.
Yeah.
And you and I did the same one thinking we were going to play the same game together.
Right.
Like co-op.
Right.
Nope.
No.
I'm gathering my stuff. You're gathering your stuff.
Uh-huh.
You're killing your people. I'm killing my people, or
Yeah.
whatever it was, and doing what we can not to walk into the other people that were in the room.
Yeah. And my glasses have a better angle of vision than these things did. It was
Yeah.
very narrow.
You had to look
You
up.
had to, right.
Look down.
And there's no peripheral vision, which some of the activities involve like catching things that are falling, but you have no peripheral vision because all you can see is this narrow band right in front of you. And you're constantly like looking around, trying to find the thing. And then you're going like this and this to make sure you're not going to run over some little kid. And it's just this sad little black room in the movie theater.
But the visual is the entire room. So you can look
Yeah.
all the way around and you can see, but sometimes there's a pillar in front of you.
Right.
So you can walk through it, but you don't know what's there because it's bright and you can't see it.
Right.
So it was
Very
an
long.
hour's length. And
Yeah.
at about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, I was like, okay, I've had enough. I don't care. I just want to get this shit over with.
Right. Finish this
done.
now.
It was boring.
It reminded me, I don't think you know what this is, but I'll show you, I'll show it to you later. But a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, there was in Glasgow, Scotland, there was this Willy Wonka experience that went like viral on the internet because of how freaking sad it was. Like all this AI slop, and that's what it reminded me of. I'll stick in some visuals from
So that was that.
that was that.
Then
And
our other activity
yeah,
that we did,
the night before, I think it was the day before.
Joshua Tree.
Yeah, we went to Joshua Tree. Joshua trees are these alien looking trees. They look like something Dr. Seuss came up with. Hundreds and hundreds of years old. And they primarily grow in this area.
We went to see the Cholla garden,
Right?
Cholla cactus
Yeah.
garden.
Hmm.
Those are pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That was pretty nice.
Yeah. If you go, you can download the app, right? The National Parks app, and the information for Joshua Tree has great tours, like places to stop if you only have one day, if you only have an afternoon, if you want to see the sunrise or sunset, where should you go? And so we went to one of the places to see the sunset, and it was pretty impressive.
You can see everything set out in front of you. You can
Yep.
see the San Andreas Fault. You can see, you said the Mexican
Mountain in
mountain
Mexico,
in
you
Mexico.
can see the top of the obviously
Yeah.
Palm Springs. You can see also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
If you're in the area, you should go there.
Definitely. And if you do go, I strongly recommend fall or spring or winter. Gets hot in the summer.
Yeah, I wouldn't do the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only other thing that I can talk about is Sheely's truck stop.
Well, yeah.
Well, we stopped twice. So
Yeah.
once was on our way to Desert Center. We needed
Yeah.
to get gas.
Yeah, because
which
it's one of those places where there's billboards that advertise the price, and it was substantially cheaper than the other prices.
And we didn't know what was going to be there for gas.
Right.
Which I'm glad we got it because, you have to drive so far to even get anywhere. Sheely's is this, we say Sheely's, it's Shelley's.
Mm-hmm. But it's spelled
Shelees. So is it Sheely's? Because it's Sheely.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you found out it was Shelley's.
Yeah, they call it Shelley's. Wrong. Incorrectly. But.
Incorrect. Kind of like Cheshire and Cheshire.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But it was massive.
Huge.
And the nice
No
thing,
wait.
I think the nice thing about this one was they had its own RV group.
Right. They had 3 separate areas, one for cars, one for trucks, semis, and one for RVs.
Yeah. They had a dump station that you can go.
Mm-hmm.
They also had a
for free
propane.
Mm-hmm. And they had propane tank, which we also did. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. If you're on your way, stop there.
Yeah. It's on tribal land, so that's why it's cheaper.
Now, if you go past Blythe and just over the border of Arizona, you can get gas for at least $1 a gallon less.
Yeah, and you can definitely tell what those taxes go for, because as soon as we crossed into Arizona, the road turned to crap. Yeah.
So that is our agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have our highs, lows, and surprises.
Yep. So what did you really like about the area?
What did I really like about the area? I like the desert.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it was like Lake Tamarisk. The high part for me was the Wabi Sabi, right?
That's what I figured you'd say, yeah.
Wabi Sabi. That was I would go back. In fact, we had our son go back and pick up some more plates.
Right.
I was surprised. That was a surprise, I should say, maybe. That would be the surprise.
Mm-hmm.
What did I like about the area? The campground was nice.
Yeah.
I just didn't like how far it was from anything.
Yeah.
So, and I liked Palm Springs. I would like to go back and spend a day or two or a whole weekend there.
Yeah.
And check it out. There's a lot to do.
Yeah.
For that area.
A lot we didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Disappointments.
Blythe.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
What I really liked? Yeah, the desert. This is the time of year to visit the desert. There's still, it's blooming, so you can see what vegetation there is. See behind me?
Yeah.
What vegetation there is.
That's
is
the
blooming.
terrorist.
He looks cute, but those looks are just
lean the other way. Theo. Hey, asshole. Oh no! Don't come back over here.
So that was nice, and just the campground in general, just how relaxed and friendly they were.
Yeah.
Disappointments, yes. Blythe. Is it a disappointment though, or did we kind of expect it was going to be really bad? I'd say actually the disappointment was the immersive experience for me.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have high expectations, but even those mediocre expectations were not met.
Yeah.
My surprise would be how good the Patton Museum was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High, low. Yeah. The low, I think the other low is that there wasn't anything to do around.
Yeah.
It's good if you want to go and relax. It's
Yeah.
not good if you want to live there 9 months out of the year.
Yeah. If you play golf, be great.
You have an
If you have an
ATV?
ATV, four-wheeler, side
Sure.
by side.
Yeah.
If you're abroad with a quad,
Yeah.
you'll fit right in. Yeah. Because there's lots of desert to go
Explore.
exploring in.
But that's it for today's stop on Next Stop Somewhere. We hope you enjoyed exploring Lake Tamarisk, Desert Center, not Blythe,
No.
Palm Springs area. If you liked the episode, be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast so you don't miss our next episode. And if you really liked us, leave a review so more everyday travelers can find us.
And as always, you can follow us on Instagram at next_stop_somewhere. And potentially you'll be able to follow us on TikTok soon. Who knows?
YouTube.
Part of our pivot to video. Yeah, YouTube. We'll let you know that information as it becomes available.
And again, if you ever have any suggestions or want us to add things or have questions, feel free to email us.
Or want to leave a review. That's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
But we are Jeff and Louise. And until next time, we will see you at the next stop, wherever it may be.